Hello guys, welcome back to the Minifest channel. We just received Phantom of Yubel in Battles of Legend, and we are going to be receiving the Fiendsmith support in Infinite Forbidden. So I thought, what better way to introduce you guys to the deck than with a combo tutorial. As the deck's going to be legal for both the North American WCQ and for the European Championship, so I thought I would show you guys how to play the deck. So I have some combos prepared in the form of replays, which I'll be showing you guys. I have combos for if we get the new Close Sky Link 2 and for if we do not get the Close Sky Link 2. So I have two variation of combos that you can do no matter what happens if we get the card or not. And I also have some combos that are interchangeable with either list, with the Link 2 or without. So yeah, let's just get into it. So this is the third combo. I'm going to be starting with the combos with the Link 2 involved. So I have 4 combos featuring the Link 2, and this is the first one. The Link 2 is very good for this deck because it enables a lot of 1-card combos, like Dark Beckoning Beast becomes a 1-card combo, which is insane. So let's go through it. So you normal summon your Dark Beckoning Beast and activate the effect to get your opening of Spirit Gates, and you then activate your opening of Spirit Gates to search a second Dark Beckoning Beast. You then use your additional normal summon on the second Dark Beckoning Beast, and you link summon not for Yama but for the new Link 2, and then you link the Close Sky Link, and you get the Fiendsmith Link 1 since this Link 2 is a light fiend, which is its main purpose in the deck. You then activate the Fiendsmith Link's effect to special the Fiendsmith from your deck. Now you can use your opening of the Spirit Gates to discard a card and bring back a fiend with 0 attack and 0 defense, which in this case will be the Dark Beckoning Beast. You can then link both monsters off, and this time we make our Fiendsmith Link 2. And this monster will shuffle 2 light fiends back, which will be the Fiendsmith Link 1 and Moon of the Close Sky. And you will make the Fiendsmith level 6 fusion, who on summons will summon back a light fiend from either your banished or grave. You can also add it to your hand, but usually you just want to special summon the Fiendsmith, because technically you could add the Fiendsmith and use it to search for the spell, but you don't need to search for the spell in this scenario. So you just use it to special your boy, the Fiendsmith, and then we link the 2 off to summon Muckraker. And now we activate the effect of the Fiendsmith, putting back the Link 2 to summon itself out. And now we overlay for Beatrice. And now Beatrice effect, we detach the Fiendsmith to send our starter card, Samsara Lotus. And then using Muckraker, we discard another card in our hand to bring back Samsara the Lotus. And then we contribute Samsara Lotus for Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel sets Nightmare Pain, which you can then activate to destroy Spirit of Yubel and search for Grave Squirmer. Spirit of Yubel triggers the summon Yubel. We can then special our Grave Squirmer, destroying Yubel, which will trigger to get us the second form, Terror Incarnate. This is nice to do now since we need material for Phantom of Yubel. So usually you want to destroy your Yubel off Grave Squirmer. So now we can link into Yama underneath the Muckraker, and then Yama will search us our Shalvara. And now we link the Shalvara and the Beatrice for Soul of Rage. We can then shuffle the materials back for Phantom of Yubel, and now we have a monster negate on field. You should have probably summoned this Phantom of Yubel earlier, but I was just showing you guys the lines. You should summon this after you have destroyed your Yubel and summon this by shuffling a Dark Beckoning Beast and a normal Yubel. So now we link summoned for our Rage, and we have our Phantom of Yubel on board. And now we can use our Grave Squirmer to bring back Spirit of Yubel, and then use the Shalvara in our hand to destroy the Spirit of Yubel, which will trigger Spirit of Yubel and the Yama in our grave. Yama will bring back the Fiendsmith, and Spirit of Yubel will summon Yubel. And now, since we have 2 level 6 Fiends, we can overlay the Fiendsmith and Shalvara for Caesar. And then we can go to our end phase, tributing Muckraker to keep the Yubel on our field. And then we can summon back Samsara the Lotus, since we control Yubel. So this is just off of Dark Beckoning Beast and 2 random discards. We get to High King Caesar, a monster negate in Samsara Lotus, a card effect negate with another monster negate with Yubel, Phantom of Yubel, and we have Soul of Rage to make SB, and SB Banish, and an SB second effect. And this protects them running over any of these disruptions by battle, since they must only attack the Yubel or the Phantom of Yubel. So yeah, this is just off Dark Beckoning Beast, which is very insane. So now we will move on to the second combo. So this is a combo with just Nightmare Throne, if you're playing the Link 2. So we'll activate Nightmare Throne to search for our Samsara the Lotus, which we will then normal summon. And then we activate the effect, tributing itself to get our Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel will then set us Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain will destroy the Spirit of Yubel and get us a Grave Squirmer. This will then trigger Spirit of Yubel and Nightmare Throne. So Nightmare Throne will get us the level 11, and Spirit of Yubel will get us the OG Yubel. We can then special our Grave Squirmer from hand. This time we will not destroy anything, since we have both forms from our deck on the field. We then link Yubel and Grave Squirmer into Yama. Yama will then activate, getting us Shalvara. We then shuffle back the materials for Phantom of Yubel. So this is usually the point you want to summon your Phantom of Yubel, is when you link off your OG Yubel. You want to put it back in deck, because then later you can summon it back out of deck off of Spirit of Yubel, so you get more materials in case you need to make a second Phantom of Yubel. So now we link off into our Soul of Rage, and then we activate the Grave Squirmer in our grave to bring back the Spirit of Yubel. We'll then activate Shalvara, popping the Spirit of Yubel, triggering both Yama and Spirit of Yubel. Yama brings back Spirit, Spirit summons Yubel. We then link off Shalvara and Soul of Rage for the Link 2. Shalvara will activate, setting us any Unchained trap. It can be either Abominable Chamber, or it can be Escape of the Unchained. It's up to you which one you prefer. Abominable Chamber is nice because sometimes you will have Soul of Rage in your graveyard and you need to use as link material to extend your plays, so this is nice to get it back out of grave. It's also nice in case your Soul of Rage gets interrupted the first time, you can have this so you can use it in a later turn. Escape is good because usually you can bring Soul of Rage back off of Muckraker anyway, and then Escape is just an extra interruption if you need it. So it's up to you which you prefer to play. Recently I've been leaning towards Abominable, but a lot of people have also been leaning towards Escape, so that's up to you. Now let's continue with the combos. We will link off the Moon of the Close Sky for the Fiendsmith Link 1. Then we will activate the Fiendsmith Link 1 for the Fiendsmith. We link Yubel and the Fiendsmith to summon the Link 2. The Link 2 will activate, shuffling back Moon and the Link 1, and then we summon the level 6 Fusion, who will then in turn summon back the Fiendsmith. We then link off the Fiendsmith with the Link 2 to summon Muckraker. Then we summon back the Fiendsmith, putting back the Link 2, and then we can overlay for Caesar. And then we can use Muckraker to bring back Yubel, discarding a random card in our hand, and then we can overlay the 2 level 10s on our board for Varudras, who is an Omni Negate and an extra destruction. So this is the end board just off of Nightmare Throne and any discard. We'll get Caesar, Varudras, Phantom of Yubel, plus Chamber, Raging Graveyard, who will then in turn summon SP Little Knight. This board is pretty decent for a 1-card combo, and this board, if you get to it, hardly loses any games. Now let's move on to our next combo. So this is the combo if you just have Samsara the Lotus and no Nightmare Throne. So it's similar to the last combo, but it's missing the extra extender, so I'll show you what you guys can do. So we start off normal summoning Lotus, which summons our Spirit. Spirit sets our Pain. Pain pops Spirit and grabs a Squirmer. Spirit summons Yubel, and then we summon Squirmer, destroy Yubel, and then that summons our level 11. Then we link off both our monsters for Yama. Yama searches a Shalvara. Then we can shuffle back materials for the Phantom of Yubel. We're putting back to level 11 this time. And then we use Grave Squirmer to bring back OG Yubel. And then we use Shalvara to pop OG Yubel, summon Shalvara. And OG Yubel then summons Terror Incarnate back. We then link off the Shalvara and Yama for Soul of Rage. Shalvara triggers to set the Abominable Chamber from our deck. We then link off our Terror Incarnate and Soul of Rage for the Moon of the Close Sky. We then use the Moon for the Fiendsmith link, the Fiendsmith link for the Fiendsmith. Then we shuffle materials for our second copy of Phantom of Yubel. So this is how we get our extra extender. Now, a cool thing about the Phantom of Yubel is that its summoning condition is not once per turn, so you can just summon an infinite number as long as you have the materials. So now we link off the Fiendsmith and Phantom for the Link 2. We use the Link 2 to put back Moon and the Link 1 for the Fusion. The Fusion will bring back the Fiendsmith. Then we use the Fiendsmith and the Link 2 for SP Little Knight. And then we can summon back the Fiendsmith and an overlay for Caesar. And then this is the end board. Keep in mind, you could also keep this SP in your extra deck and go for Muckraker instead. And then Muckraker summons back anything from your grave, so you can summon back your Spirit of Yubel, because we still have the chamber on field to summon back our Soul of Rage, which can turn into the SP Little Knight. But this is off of 1 card and no discard. But if you don't want to use if you do want to use the discard, you end on Muckraker instead. And then Muckraker summons back Spirit of Yubel. And then you have the trap for Soul of Rage. You still have Yama in grave. And you just basically have to grind it out from that position. But it's still a strong end board. Caesar is a very broken card. Phantom of Yubel is a very broken card. And Soul of Rage is a very broken card. And Yama protects your cards if they get destroyed, and you have Nightmare Pain to stop these being run over by battle. But yeah, that's that combo. Now let's move on to the next combo. So this is what you have if you just have Dark Beckoning Beast and Nightmare Throne. So this is a 2-card combo. So with Dark Beckoning Beast we get our Spirit Gates. Spirit Gates gets our second Dark Beckoning Beast. Nightmare Throne gets us our Lotus. Now usually you want to start with Dark Beckoning Beast to bait hand traps, but keep in mind that Droll may be popular in the next format, so it might be better to start with Nightmare Throne, because if you get Drolled on Lotus there's still stuff you can do. But if we get Drolled here, we can still use Nightmare Throne to destroy from our deck, and then that gets us a free body on board, since you can destroy Spirit of Yubel from deck and that will just summon us a Yubel from deck. So it's not the end of the world of this again if you get Drolled on Beckoning Beast. So now we use the additional normal from our Beckoning Beast on the Samsara Lotus. Samsara Lotus gets a Spirit, Spirit sets Pain, Pain pops Spirit, which gets us Grave Squirmer, Spirit triggers and Nightmare Throne triggers. Then you get both Yubel and the level 11. Then we link off the level 11 and Dark Beckoning Beast for Yama, trigger Yama, summon Shavara, put back the materials for Phantom of Yubel, special the Squirmer in our hand, destroy Yubel, summon back the level 11 we just put back, link off Yama and Grave Squirmer for Soul of Rage, activate the Spirit Gates to summon back our Spirit of Yubel. Then we link off our 3 monsters into Appaloosa, because we are not locked into anything. So at this point we are really safe from any hand traps, because we have both Phantom of Yubel and we have Appaloosa on 3 negates. And now we do the main line. So we do Grave Squirmer to bring back the Spirit of Yubel again, Shavara, pop Spirit of Yubel, Spirit triggers, Yama triggers, Yama summons back the boy, and the boy summons Yubel. Then we link off both Yubel and Shavara into Close Sky. Shavara triggers, setting us our chamber. Now we link off Close Sky into the Fiendsmith link. Link summons Fiendsmith. Then we put back materials to summon a second Phantom of Yubel. Then we link off the Phantom with the Fiendsmith to summon the link. And then we activate the link, shuffling back the link monster and the Close Sky to summon the fusion. The fusion summons back the Fiendsmith. We link off the Fiendsmith Requiem for Muckracker. Use the Fiendsmith's effect to summon itself back out. Overlay for Caesar. Use the Muckracker, bring back Yubel. Overlay for Varudras, and you have a pretty good end board. We have Abominable Chamber for the Rage in our grave. The Rage will turn into an SP. We have Varudras as an Omni Negate, Caesar to stop 2 special summoned effects, Phantom of Yubel to replace a monster effect with destroying a Yubel monster. We have Appaloosa for free. We have Nightmare Pain. We have Nightmare Throne. So if your Yubel gets outed by your Phantom of Yubel gets outed by a card effect, it can float into either Spirit of Yubel or OG Yubel. And if OG Yubel and Spirit gets outed, you can then use the Throne to put back one of your Phantom of Yubels in your extra deck, so you have it for the grind game, which can come up quite a lot. But this end board, if you get to it, is pretty much unbreakable. Obviously there's some cards like Droplets which are annoying, but you have like 4 great monsters on board, so they'd have to discard 4 cards, and then you still have Abominable Chamber plus the Rage in your grave, and even if they have something to stop that, they still need to deal with the Nightmare Pain and your Nightmare Throne, otherwise they're going to kill themselves by running into your monsters. But yeah, that's that combo. Like, that 2-card combo is insane. Like, I'm not going to lie. Close Sky is really good for this deck. So now I'm going to move on to some neutral combos, which are fine if we do get the Link 2 or we don't get the Link 2. So this is a combo with just the Fiendsmith as a 1-card combo. So we activate the Fiendsmith and we get Tractus. We activate Tractus and Tractus gets us Lurry. And then we discard the Lurry due to the effect of Tractus. Then we trigger the Lurry to summon itself back out, and then we link it off into Requiem, and then we activate the Requiem to summon the Fiendsmith from deck. Then we summon back the Fiendsmith from our grave by putting back the Lurry. Now we link off the 2 Fiendsmiths for the Link 2. The Link 2 puts back one of your Fiendsmiths and the Requiem to summon the Fusion, and the Fusion summons back the Fiendsmith, and then we overlay both for Beatrice. Beatrice sends Lotus. Then you link both your monsters off into Muckracker, discard any random card in your hand, bring back Samsara Lotus. Activate Samsara for Spirit, Spirit for Pain, Pain pops Spirit, grab Squirmer, trigger Spirit for Yubel, activate Grave Squirmer, special, pop Yubel, summon the second form, then we shuffle back the materials for Phantom, Link 2 into Yama, Yama effect get Shalvara, Squirmer summon back Spirit, link off Yama and Phantom of Yubel for Rage. Now unfortunately in this version of the combo we have to use the Phantom of Yubel as a extender, as we do not have enough bodies to extend without it. Like, this is if we just open the Fiendsmith and nothing else, so we have to use the Phantom of Yubel currently for an extender, but we can summon it back soon anyway. So we go Shalvara here to pop the Spirit, which triggers both Spirit and Yama, so we get both bodies out. So Yama will summon us our Fiendsmith again. This is so that we can make a rank 6 later. Now we overlay both our monsters for, you guessed it, Caesar. Even if we get nibbed at that position, we can still set a trap off of Shalvara, so we would have Rage Engrave that we can summon back, plus materials for a Phantom of Yubel. So it's not the worst if you get nibbed in that position, but there's a couple of things to keep in mind. One, a lot of people will cut nib because it is very bad into the Fiendsmith cards. Two, like, even if you get nibbed, you are still ending on 3 to 4 interruptions anyway. One being the link off from Soul of Rage, 2 being the SP banish, 3 being the second effect of SP, because they can't run over it from battle because you will control a Yubel monster, being Phantom of Yubel, and then the Phantom of Yubel will be your 4th interruption. So even if you get nibbed at this position, it's not the end of the world. So now, in this position, we shuffle back the materials for the Phantom of Yubel, using the Yubel on field and the level 11 in the grave. Now you can put back the Spirit in your grave, but you usually want it in rotation. And if we keep the Yubel on field, we need to tribute a monster in end phase if we want to keep it. But it's better to just keep the Muckracker since we don't have the Lotus to summon back for an extra interruption. So there's no point keeping the OG Yubel. So you might as well just shuffle it back and summon the Phantom. So this is the end board. It looks quite simple. This is just off of the Fiendsmith, by the way. It looks quite simple, but it's deceptively powerful. We have mods to negate off of Phantom, 2 negates off Caesar for effects that special summon, so that's 3 interruptions. The link off of Soul, which is 4. The banish off SP, which is 5. The second effect of SP, which is 6. And we have protection from Muckracker too, and battle protection with Nightmare Pain. So this set board is deceptively powerful, and you'll still have 3 other cards in hands if we count the discard from Muckracker as well. And now I'll move on to the second neutral combo. So this is what to do if you draw the Fiendsmith plus Nightmare Throne. So we'll start Nightmare Throne to get Samsara the Lotus to play around draw. Because if we get drawed there, if you get drawed on the Fiendsmith, we have no plays. But in this case, we see they don't have draw. So we can go for Samsara the Lotus into Spirit of Yubel to bait a hand trap, and then Spirit to set the Nightmare Pain. And then we can use Nightmare Pain to pop the Spirit and then get our Grave Squirmer. Then we can summon both the monsters on field due to Nightmare Throne and the Spirit. Now we summon our Grave Squirmer, link 2 into Yama, grab us our Shavara. Now this is the point where they have nib range, but at this point it doesn't matter. We put Phantom of Yubel back, we summon the Phantom of Yubel, we link 2 into Soul of Rage. Now we have protection from hand traps, so we can activate the Fiendsmith to get us our Tractus. Now we use the Tractus for Luri, discard the Luri, summon back the Luri. Then we use the Luri for link 1. Link 1, summon the Fiendsmith. We use Grave Swarmer, summon back Spirit, Shavara pop Spirit, effect of Spirit and Yama. Yama summons back Spirit, Spirit summons the Yubel. We overlay the Shavara and the Fiendsmith for your Caesar. We activate the Fiendsmith and Grave, summoning itself back out. We overlay both our level 10s for Varudras. Then we link off into our Muckracker. And then we can use the Muckracker to bring back our Soul of Rage, because in this combo we use the Shavara as material, so we don't have the trap, so we're ending on the Soul of Rage instead. And now we'll move on to our third neutral combo. So this is like the best combo the deck can produce. It's the 3 card combo, you open everything and you don't get hand trapped. This scenario won't happen 90% of the time, but it's nice to know what to do in that case, so I'm going to show you guys what to do. So we start with Beckoning Beast, searching Spirit Gates, Spirit Gate searching Beckoning Beast, using Throne to grab us Samsara Lotus, additional summon on our Lotus using its effect to get our Spirit. Spirit sets us the Pain, Pain pops Spirit, grabs a Squirmer. We trigger both Throne and Spirit to summon back Yubel and the level 11 from deck. We link off into Yama, Yama effect, grabbing our Shav, shuffling back material for Phantom, special Grave Squirmer, link off Squirmer and Yama for the Soul of Rage. Then we link off again into Cross Sheet. Now this can be Muckracker as well. I just thought I'd summon Cross Sheet here to show that you can play it. Like, it's a cool card because it points to Phantom of Yubel. So here we go, the Fiendsmith, search Tractus, Tractus for Luri, discard Luri, summon back Luri, link into the Requiem, Requiem for the Fiendsmith, activate Squirmer for Spirit, Shove on Spirit, trigger Yama and Spirit, summon both the level 10s, overlay Shove and the Fiendsmith for Caesar, overlay the level 10s for Varudris, trigger Cross Sheep here to summon back Lurry, link off Lurry and Cross Sheep into the Link 2. Since Lurry is a light fiend monster, then we can trigger the Link 2, bring back Requiem and Lurry. We can summon the level 6, which brings back the Fiendsmith. Then we can overlay for Beatrice, and then we can use Beatrice to send Angel of Blue Tears. Now this is a side deck card. I only put this in to show this combo. That is nice to know when we get the Fiendsmith cards. But you use Beatrice to send the Angel of Blue Tears. And then here we activate the Spirit of Gates, which we haven't used yet, to get back a body. And we discarded the Beckoning Beast we already had, so we didn't need to use a discard, so we still have the other 2 cards in our hand. So now we're going to link off into Appaloosa, and since the Fiendsmith fusion was sent to grave, you shuffle back a light fiend and burn your opponent for 1200. And now since you've burnt your opponent for 1200, that triggers the Angel of Blue Tears. You can banish it to set any normal trap from your hand or deck to your field. Well, the most important part is they can set from deck. And it can be activated this turn. So there's a lot of things you can do. Here I'm just setting D barrier just to show you can do it. But there's a lot of cool things you can set. You can get Eradicator, tributing your Varudris, and you can eradicate them on your turn since it can be activated this turn. So they don't have an opportunity to use their spell cards at all, which is insanely good. Or you can set basically any virus, because you have Phantom of Yubel for requirements under defense, and Varudris meets all the other requirements. You can set other good normal traps like D barrier, DDG, and that is our last neutral combo. So I'm now going to show you the combos you can do if we don't get Moon of the Close Sky. So this is the alternative combo off of Nightmare Throne if we don't get Close Sky. We go Throne for Samsara Lotus, Lotus for Spirit, Spirit for Pain, Pain pop Spirit, get Grave, Throne and Spirit gets us both the Yubels, Grave summons itself, Link 2 into Yama, grab Sharvara, shuffle back the materials for Phantom, then we link off into Soul of Rage, we use the Grave to summon back Spirit, and then Sharv on the Spirit, we trigger both the Yama and the Spirit, summoning back Spirit and summoning out the other level 10, link off Sharv, Yubel and the Link 2 into Nightmare Griffin, which, fun fact, is also a light fiend. Now we trigger Sharv to set a normal trap from deck, and then we can link off Nightmare Griffin into, you guessed it, the boy, Requiem. Then we go Requiem, summon the Fiendsmith, link off into the Link 2, Link 2, shuffle back, summoning out the level 6, which summons out the Fiendsmith, which then gets us a Muckracker on board. And then we can use the Fiendsmith in our grave to summon itself out, which then we can use to make our Caesar. Then we can use our Muckracker to summon our Soul of Rage, because we might as well summon Soul of Rage. there's nothing else here worth summoning. So the only difference between not having Moon of Close Sky and having it in this combo is now you can't also end on Varudris without it, just off of Nightmare Throne anyway. So it does slightly weaken the end board, but this end board is still pretty strong. Then we're going to move on to the next combo without Moon of the Close Sky. So this is the combo with the Nightmare Throne and Lotus or Beckoning Beast. You just use your Throne to search the other one, and then normal Beckoning Beast, get your second Beckoning Beast off of the gates, additional normal on Lotus, Lotus for Spirit, Spirit for Pain, Pain pop Spirit, grab Grave, special Yubel, special level 11 of Throne, Link 2 for Yama, Yama grab Shav, shuffle back material for Phantom, summon Grave, link Grave and Yama for Rage, use Grave to summon back Spirit, Shav pop Spirit, trigger Spirit and Yama, summon back Spirit, summon out Yubel, link 4 for the Griffin, activate Shav to set the trap, link off into the link 1, which summons the Fiendsmith, use Beckoning Beast, use Spirit Gates to summon Beckoning Beast, which we then link off of the Fiendsmith for the link. Link shuffles back Requiem and Griffin for the fusion. Fusion summons back Fiendsmith. Link Fiendsmith and the link 2 for the Anguish. This is literally just a bridge to Appaloosa, so that we get Fiendsmith as a free link material, basically, to link climb. Then we summon out the Fiendsmith to make Caesar. We shuffle back materials for a second Phantom, and then we use that Phantom with the Anguish to make Appaloosa, and then we overlay the 2 level 10s for Varudris. So that's the 2 card combo. The end board doesn't change with or without Moon, but yeah, the deck's still insane without Moon, but Moon does enable a lot more 1 card combos and makes the 1 card combos better with its existence, basically. But the deck is certainly still insanely strong without it. And now I'm moving on to the final replay without Moonsky. So now we move on to just Samsara the Lotus. Now this card is basically the root to all the combos. This M board will be weaker, like a lot weaker without the Link 2, but it's still decent. It's weaker compared to the other M boards, but it's still a strong M board into most decks. Then we go Spirit, pop Spirit for Grave Squirmer, summon out Yubel, summon Grave Squirmer, pop Yubel, get the second form, shuffle back the materials early for a Phantom of Yubel. So you might as well summon it now and get some protection for the Yama as well, because we're not summoning the Lotus in this situation. We summon a Yama, effect, grab Shav, and then we link both off for the Soul of Rage. Then we use Squirmer to summon back this. Then we use the Shav, popping it to get itself out. Trigger both Yama and the Spirit to get both level 10s out. And now we link off material for Griffin. Like that, it uses a lot more resources than the Link 2 does, but if you want to end on the Fiendsmith stuff, you kind of have to do it like this. Shav sets us our trap, and now we have material for a second Phantom, and then we link off into the Requiem. Requiem gets us the Fiendsmith. Then we link 2 into the link. Link shuffles back both our links in grave to summon the fusion. Fusion summons back the Fiendsmith. Link the Fiendsmith and the link 2 for Muckracker. Then we use the Fiendsmith to summon itself back out. And then we can overlay for Caesar. Then we use the Muckracker to summon back Rage. So as you can see, like if you have escape in these situations, it's nice. But this is really good if like any of these plays get stopped, because this allows you to still have an interruption in your grave. Like if you also want to layer your protection, so you have this in graveyard, so you don't lose to droplet, you can do that. And you can just summon out like a Spirit of Yubel instead, so that you keep this engraved to summon out later in case you get droplet or dark rulered. So like that's something to keep in mind as well. But yeah, that's all the combos I have for you today. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this combo tutorial. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.